Hey everybody, welcome to today's team call. I'm sorry, I think the time's just off for a lot of you. So I know that only one or two of you could make it today. So I just decided to record the call and y'all can listen to the recording. That way I'm not taking up too much time from anybody else. So today's call, I wanted to talk about attitude and success and how they're kind of related. More importantly, I wanted to talk about the next coming months. And I don't know if you've seen me post about it in the TeamBodyBurn group. But September through December, those are probably the toughest months for us as coaches. People are already, going through that back to school swing, and then they're already focusing on like Christmas, and it's not even Halloween yet. So the holidays are coming back to back to back. People are already in that mindset, and I can't blame them. I mean, I do it too, and I think we do it as coaches, and we kind of hit a slump, and we hit a brick wall, and priorities change and shift, and that's kind of normal. But what I want to talk about here is the attitude towards that, understanding your attitude and how it's directly related to your success as a coach, especially in these next couple of months. I know we've added a couple of new coaches to the team, so I don't want this to scare you. I don't want you to think, I'm not going to have any success these next couple of months. That's not what I'm saying. It's just going to be tough. But for you as a new coach, this is new and this is exciting, and it's something you haven't talked about, this Beachbody journey and being a coach. So you've actually got that on your side, and that's going to help propel you through these months. So just keep that in mind, but also know that, where the consumer is coming from, where that person is coming from that doesn't have the money to spend on a Beachbody program right now, or doesn't have the time to focus on coaching right now. And so understand that and know how to work around it and know how to have a good attitude about it when you're going into it. So as a company, our mission and vision is to help people achieve their goals and to help them live healthier, fitter lifestyles. That is our mission statement as a company. As a team and as an individual coach, we want to help people and help more people. And that doesn't just mean during the holidays. That doesn't just mean during summer. It means every single day. And that's where consistency comes into play. And you'll hear me talk about being consistent all the time because that's the one thing I feel like I'm really good at, is being consistent day in and day out with my business and with my goals and with what I'm doing and what posts I'm putting out and talking about the business and working my business. So people are placing their hopes and their dreams and their goals into your hands as their coach. And so it's up to us to make those right decisions when we go all in with this business, meaning having a good attitude, making the right decisions to help these people and put them first, and to help them all the time, consistently, every day, day in and day out, and not expect anything in return. So taking that mindset of I could, or I might, or I can, or I should, to I will do this every single day. Make that commitment to yourself. And we have to keep that in front of people, keep that mission in front of people all the time. Like I said, all the time, helping more people and helping our people, our coaches and our teams and our challengers even help more people. Who can they invite? Who can we invite? And teaching them how to do that. And then when you do start to see a drift, people drifting apart or people not wanting to be a part of that, we all start focusing on our own goals, or we're not really focusing on the team aspect or helping more people. We're focusing on how it's going to help us. We start losing that relevance. We start losing credibility. We start losing our passion for doing this. And we kind of hit that brick wall and we get stuck. And so this is what I want to talk about today, is that attitude, keeping these people close to you, and always be genuinely helping more people to keep that success going. It's kind of like two ends of a stick. So let's say this is my stick. When you pick up the stick, there's always two ends. And so if you pick up the stick that has the law of contribution on it, meaning you're always contributing, you're always giving, you're always putting something out, there's always the other end of the stick, which is the law of return. And that means you're going to be getting something back. So if you stop contributing, you stop getting anything back. Your business comes to a halt. You stop having those successes. So the law of contribution and the law of return go hand in hand in that one little stick. So think about your stick. Think about what you're doing to help people, to help grow your business, and to stay the course, okay? And I think attitude is the biggest of all of those things. Attitude is the most important place when you start looking at this kind of stuff, and towards your business and your customers, having a strong positive attitude towards those things. When we start to have a bad attitude towards our business, we obviously take that inward look and start reflecting on, well, why are we having that? Because it's very easy to get a bad attitude about this business for a number of reasons, but especially during this time of year when it's slow, people aren't responding to us, and they're, ignoring our messages, or they're not commenting on our posts, or they're not liking our posts, or, our challengers aren't listening and engaging in our groups. It's really easy to get upset with this business. And so our actions come from our attitudes. And I don't know about you, but an attitude, most of the time, people treat it like something that's happened to you. So maybe you wake up and you've had a great morning, or I woke up, I had a great morning. You had a little quarrel over breakfast with your daughter or with your husband, and it kind of puts you, in a mood. And then now you're running late, and, you spilled coffee on your dress, and on and on and on and on and on, but it's not your fault. None of it's your fault. It's everyone else's fault. It's your daughter's fault for making you late, and it's your husband's fault for getting you all stirred up and, mad. Well, right? I mean, that's what you think. It's everyone else's fault. I didn't do anything wrong, but that's not right. It's not. You are in control of your attitude, and you get to make a choice. Imagine going through your day with a whole, refreshed attitude, refreshed mindset that says, no one can touch my attitude. No one can change it. No one can make me feel any better or any worse. No one is in control of me but me, right? If you could go through every day with that kind of mindset and that attitude, oh my gosh, you'd have such better days, right? Hey, I'm not going to let this piss me off. Hey, I'm not going to let this get me upset because I'm in control here, and it's not going to get me upset. When you have a bad, cynical attitude about your business, when it starts going south and it starts, just that perpetual bad, cynical attitude about the business, it's really a reflection of your own attitude. So your own attitude is shining through that you have something going on. Maybe it's, a friend that you need to get out of your life for a while to kind of clear your mind. Maybe it's, a fight that you need to clear up with your spouse. Maybe it's, taking some things off your plate so that you have more time to do the things that you like to do in life. Whatever it is, it's having an attitude adjustment. So I want to go over 4 questions to ask yourself whenever you get into a slump, whenever you start having bad thoughts about this business, about your coaching, about your team. I want you to ask yourself these questions and really think about them. So, number 1, do I view this as that team or my team? Do I view this as this business or my business? And I want to say that because it is. It's your business. It's not just that business that you're doing, or it's not just that team that you're on, or this team that you're a part of. It's our team, or in your case, it's my team. It's not my team. It's your team. It's our team. It's my team, meaning it's ours. We're in this together. We're a team effort here. And when you have a bad attitude towards something, you tend to distance yourself from it. So, I don't want to be included. For example, when I have an attitude towards Emma, she's done something that's made me upset. I'll tell my husband, your daughter did this and this and this. And so I distance myself from it. She's not my daughter. She's your daughter, and she's acting up, right? And so, how do you refer to it? When, I'm not talking like semantics, but in your heart. So, is this team, are these your people? Are these your fit family? Is this your place to grow and to learn? And if you think, well, no, this is just that team. This is just, this team that I'm a part of, then you've distanced yourself and you've taken a step back. And I think you need to ask yourself, why? Why? Is there a reason that you've, let something else control your attitude? Is there something that you can control within yourself? Maybe it's, like I said, it's something within that you need to reflect upon, or that you can adjust. Maybe it's something that I can help you with. Maybe it's a leadership thing. Maybe it's something I'm doing or I'm not doing. Maybe it's someone else on the team. Maybe it's, I don't know what it is, but you need to ask yourself what it is. And if it's something, like you're just waiting for that perfect fit, no team's perfect, no coach is perfect, nobody's perfect. It's not going to happen. We all have these, where we need to make tweaks and adjustments. But once you can change your perspective and know that you belong, that this team is yours, and you start giving back to that, giving into that, getting plugged into the groups, getting a success partner, going back to those basics and contributing, with that stick, you'll start feeling like you belong. You'll start feeling. So if you ever feel that way with your attitude, this is one of those questions you can ask yourself, like, how are you treating this team? Here's a little change of perspective story for you. I love this one. It's about a kid that was practicing playing baseball in his backyard, and his parents were watching him, and he was just having the time of his life, and he kept throwing the ball up and swinging the bat. And every time he'd throw it up, he'd say, "I'm the greatest batter in all of the world." And he'd throw the ball up and he'd swing, and he missed. He did it 3 times. Threw the ball up, "I'm the greatest batter in the whole wide world." Miss. Looked over at his parents, and he's like, I'm not defeated. I don't feel bad about this. I'm going to keep trying. So he didn't want to give up, so he threw it up one last time. "I'm the greatest batter in all of the world." Swinging, whiffed big time, all 3 times. Looked over at his parents, looked at his shoes, thought about it, and he says, "I just struck out the greatest batter in all of the world. I am the greatest pitcher in the whole wide world." And I just think that's the cutest story ever, because what a little shift of perspective takes. Like, it just took nothing at all for him to see himself in a new light, see himself in a different way. If you're not being the leader that you want to be, what can you tweak? What can you shift? Like I said, if you're not viewing this as your team and you're a part of this growing team, what can you shift? How can you get plugged in? Who can you partner up with to feel more like you're part of a team? The second question is, have you fallen into a consumeristic mindset? And we all know what consumers are, because we're Americans and we love to spend money, especially this time of year. We like to buy stuff. But has that trickled into your business? And that, what I mean is, consumerism says, "What have you done for me lately?" And I hate that, because it's always a take. It's always absorbing. It's always sucking that life out of something, and it never gives back. And you see this a lot as a leader. At least I do. I see this as a leader, that people take, they take, they take, they take, they take, they take, they take, and they never give back. And so I can't have that mindset. If I start having that mindset of, well, I'm not going to lead this team because I just give and 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 give, and people just take, and they never give back. No one else ever wants to lead a team call. Nobody else wants to lead a training. Nobody else wants to shout out for Success Club. If I started having that attitude about this business and this team, it wouldn't work. It's just not the way it works. So if you bring that mindset into your business or into your team, you can only imagine how awful it is. And it's why people team hop. It's why they coach hop. It's why they challenge group hop. And they don't ever stick to one. It's why people compare themselves, because we're always looking for that next best thing. We're always, trying to figure out, well, what's in it for me? How's this going to make me better? How's this going to grow my business? How's this going to make me look bigger and better and have a better team? And that's really not what it's about. So not just looking out for your own personal interests, but also for the interest of others, and giving back to the team, giving back to your team, to your coaches, to your customers, to your followers, giving back and being a giver rather than a consumer. So if you've had that, consumeristic mindset about this business, especially going into these next 4 months, are you blaming others for your success? People aren't getting back to you, or you're blaming your upline? I don't know. If you're doing that, what's in it for me? Or what have you done for me lately? Well, what have you done lately? Turn that question around. And then can you tweak how you're conducting your business? Because sometimes it's not what you're selling, it's how you're selling it that's not coming across clearly or in a good light. Simon Sinek is a great leader to follow with that regard to, giving back to your community, giving back to your coaches, but selling that why you're so passionate about this, why you love it, not here's what I'm doing and here's why you should do it for me. It's giving and not taking. Okay. Number 3, do you assume the worst or the best about this team and this community and its leaders? We're so quick to judge and jump to conclusions about others in life in general as women, and then especially when you get all these women onto a team together, or customers, challengers into a group together, or what have you. It's very easy because we want to blame the other person. We always want to put the blame on, oh, I can't reach my goals because, and give some kind of excuse or blame somebody else for that. Even if it were the worst, assume the best. And so I want to ingrain that into your brain that, it's hard to do. It's very hard to do. But if you can just imagine that Every time you went into a situation with this business, if you just assumed the best about everything, giving everyone that benefit of the doubt, people not responding to your message, do you assume the worst? Like, oh, they don't like me. I said something that offended them. They don't want to be a part of my group. Probably, right? We've all done it. But assume the best. Don't assume the worst. Assume the best. Oh, they're busy. They have a life too. They had to pick up kids, go to their full-time job, pick up kids, take them to soccer practice, pick up kids, bring them home, cook dinner, put kids to bed. They're exhausted. They haven't even read their message, or they saw it, they forgot to respond. It happens to all of us. Assume the best. People telling you no to coaching. How many of you assume the worst and you're like, oh, they're never going to want to do this. They're never going to do it. They think I'm stupid. They think this thing is a hoax. Like, we all do it. Assume the best. Assume that, hey, what's going on in their head is they would love to do this. They would absolutely love to do it, but they can't right now because they have X, Y, and Z on their plate. And until they get it off their plate, they can't even focus on this. That's assuming the best, okay? Teammates are giving up, or they're not responding to you, or they're not hitting their goals like they said they would. Are you assuming the worst, that they just suck, that they're awful coaches and they're not doing their work? Maybe, and maybe that's true. But what if you assumed the best? What if you went into it with the best intentions? Like, hey, I know you're pushing hard. I know you're working hard. I know you're tracking your business. I know you're doing all these things. Maybe they're just having a bad day. Maybe they're having a bad attitude and they just need to tweak. Or, maybe there's something else that you can, point their attention to or help them with. But when you assume the worst, it tears each other down. And that's not what we're here to do. As coaches, as leaders, as teammates, it's just so wrong when we do that. So we've got to assume the best. We've got to weed out the problems as they arise, because obviously there's going to be clashes and cliques that don't need to be there. And more times than not, it's knowing that it's usually your own imagination running wild and trying to make yourself look like the hero, where you're just like, it's you, it's not me. So if you're in that boat where you're assuming the worst, I challenge you with your attitude to always assume the best. And when you always assume the best, you're giving everyone else a better chance to succeed too. Number 4, do I give accolades to myself every day? And not just to yourself, but to your team. And not just accolades for your business successes, but for life successes too. Personal development is huge. And so are you engaging and rewarding yourself for that every day? Are you giving back to your team, to this team? Are you contributing? Are you patting yourself on the back for doing a good job? Are you rewarding yourself for hitting goals? Are you celebrating successes of yourself and your team? Are you praying for somebody else? Whatever it is, are you giving accolades every single day? Because what you care most about is what you give back to. So think about it. Your family, your friends, your teammates, your passions, all that stuff that you care a lot about, you put a lot of time into. So you care and support about those closest to you. And this team is close to you. Your coaches, your customers, those are people that follow you for a reason, that want to be a part of, this bigger picture that you're creating. So are you supporting them? Are you recognizing them? Are you making them feel important? Because honestly, people will, this job, although it's fun and it's got its fun parts and what have you, we, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter your rank. It doesn't matter the recognition. The only thing that matters is how you made people feel. How you made people feel. And Simon Sinek, he does a great job of that too. But it's easy to get caught up in this Beachbody push, which I think brings down our attitudes a lot. But when you go out and support people and praise people and make them feel good, a good attitude comes from doing good things, which is going to equal a happy heart. So that's going to automatically make your attitude better, give you that attitude adjustment. So success isn't easy, I know that, but we can make it more achievable, especially in these coming months, September through December, when it gets hard. It gets hard to reach people. It gets hard to talk to people. They get busy. They're already looking at Christmas stuff when it's just Halloween, right? So most things will work, like systems and trainings and templates and programs that we've put together and made duplicable. They work if people use them. They work if you go push play. They work if you apply what you're learning in the trainings that we've provided for you. So how do you change habits and create more success in your life and in your business? Well, I'll tell you, you look at those around you who are successful, and you'll see that 1, they've stumbled as much as they have succeeded. And 2, their changed plan is homegrown. So back to the attitude, when you're in need of an attitude adjustment, you have to have a plan. You have to sit down and be like, okay, I'm having a bad attitude about this business, but I need a plan. And that plan needs to be homegrown. It needs to be homegrown to fit your needs, your strengths, your weaknesses, you. It needs to be you. So what that means is that these leaders, these successful people, have found a sweet spot in their business. Like, hey, I'm not organized and I know I'm not organized, or I'm not good at talking and I'm okay with that. But you have to have a plan and take your strengths, like what you're good at, and that's uniquely yours, and those gifts, and maximize those to help yourself, and then to become better, and then help others to become better. And the successful leaders, the Janelle Summers, the Megs, the Mindy Winders, all these people that you hear, their names over and over, Lindsay Matway, Melanie Mitro, that you hear over and over again, those successful people have learned how to leverage those strengths and make them uniquely theirs, okay? So the beauty of it is that nobody gets it right the first time. Hello, I'm still a work in progress, as are you too. Lots of leaders have taken 2 steps back and 1 step forward, but they have a skillful way, and skillfully have they learned from those setbacks so that their plan evolved in a deliberate direction. Okay, I'm going to say that again. A skillful way of learning. These leaders have had a skillful way of learning from those setbacks that they had so that their plan evolved in a deliberate direction. So they knew they were working on these strengths. They knew they were taking these strengths and turning them into something that was going to work for them so that they're always moving in a forward direction. So they took bits and pieces from each other. You can take bits and pieces from other leaders, put those pieces together so you don't reinvent the wheel, right? Duplication, sharing, taking what others have done and making it your own. And then they observe it and they learn it and they tried it and they tried it again, day in, day out, week in, week out, week by week. So if you go look at the elite top 10, what do those people have in common? Well, consistency in this business. And like I said, consistency is every single day working on you, talking to people, those vital behaviors, consistent every single day. And consistency is like a buzzword for persistence, which means doing consistent things when it's really hard. But there's more to that. There's more to just being consistent. So what's that layer below? And what have these coaches done to create more success than others? Well, you have to be the science behind the subject. You have to be the scientist in the subject. And that means turning bad days into good data. So when you have that bad attitude and you have that bad, mindset about the business and who you're blaming it on and what's not going right and who you're assuming the worst about, when you have a bad day, you turn that bad day into good data. And these leaders, they put themselves in the game. They create challenge groups and they run them even when they suck and they only have one person in them. They create sneak peek groups even when not one person in that group signs up to be a coach. They set up trainings even when every person put in that training is quiet and doesn't respond, doesn't engage, doesn't post. Happens to me all the time. They apply and they work it and they work it and they work it. And then when it doesn't work, there's 2 roads that you can take here. The first is what the majority of coaches take. They get discouraged, they get disillusioned, and they get disappointed because it didn't work out. And they blame it on the business, right? They are the consumeristic mindset. What are you going to do for me? It's not my fault because the business didn't work. It didn't work. I can't do it. They throw their hands up in the air. And that's that critical moment where it's like you make it or you break it, you're in or you're out. It's like, hey, if you can't withstand this persistent stuff, this isn't for you. So all these leaders, these successful coaches, they've taken the second path. They didn't get discouraged. They didn't get disillusioned. They didn't get disappointed. These coaches, in moments like this, where life gets hard or life happens, the business starts sucking, people start sucking the life out of them, they're coaches, they're challengers, nothing's working, they get curious. They don't quit. They just get curious. They turn those negatives into positives. They get curious about what worked and what didn't and how to fix that, how to rinse, repeat, figure it out. And that That right there is true consistency. When through all that hard you can still move forward. You can still be curious. You can still try to figure something out. Try to figure out what worked and what didn't. They engage in that continuous process until they get a system that becomes homegrown and unique to them. And that's the cool part, is that you're constantly tweaking that system. I'm still tweaking my training system. I'm still tweaking my sneak peek system. I'm still tweaking my challenge group system, because I'm growing it. I'm home growing it. I'm making it my own. I'm making it unique, but I'm constantly figuring out and being curious on how I can make it better, how I can fix it. So these leaders and myself and other leaders on this team, we're stumbling forward. We might just be tripping over, the few little things that are getting in our way and holding us up. We're not tumbling downward. We're just stumbling forward. And we've each had a goal. Getting to Emerald, getting to Success Club, Success Starters, and you've each stumbled somewhere along the way getting to that goal. But were you curious when you stumbled, and when that coach that was going to sign up didn't? Were you curious and like, hey, I wonder why they didn't sign up. I wonder what held them back. I wonder why they said no. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to go ask more people. I'm not going to let this get me down. Did you continue to try? And that's what consistency really represents. Not giving up. Continuing to keep on going. Consistency and continuing. Those words are like interchangeable, right? So every one of us are going to have headwinds and get turned upside down. Not just today, not just these next 4 months, but in this business. You're going to get stuck. You're going to have headwinds. You're going to have pushback. And we've all had those struggles, challenge packs that didn't happen. Coaches that have quit like high and dry on us. Spouses that don't support us and have no idea what we're doing. They don't even care. Customers that don't respond to our messages. Coaches that don't respond to us. Someone loses rank. Someone falls out of rank. Someone doesn't hold their rank. That coach that we thought would rock this business doesn't. They quit and they're MIA. We don't even know where they went. Or the company changes something and we're like, well, now I can't do this. The company totally ripped the carpet out from underneath us. But the question is, are you going to let those things hold you back, or are you going to keep racing and keep focusing on the fundamentals of the business? And those fundamentals are the 3 vital behaviors: working on yourself, talking to more people, and push and play, and getting the workouts done and being proof that the products work. The minute that you stray from stop being consistent in your business with those vital behaviors is when you stop your race. It's when you stop picking up the stick. When you stop contributing, you get nothing in return. When you stop being consistent with your business, your sales lose air and you just fall over. Your ship stops sailing. Your legs start moving in the race, like you're done. You may take a few steps backwards, 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps backwards, but all of a sudden it's going to click. One day it's going to click. And I don't know if this has happened to you yet, but it happens to me all the time. I'll be plugging along for 2 or 3 months and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm not getting anywhere. Nobody's saying yes. I'm getting all these no's. I haven't hit these goals. And then boom, all of a sudden it's like, hey, it happens. It works. You'll get that coach that's like, hey, yes, this is the rockstar coach I've been looking for. Or, you'll sign up somebody that just blows you out of the water in your challenge groups, or you'll hit that goal that you finally didn't think you ever would. You'll be surprised that your ability to inspire, your ability to present the opportunity, your ability to communicate to others and to your team, it's going to get stronger and it's going to get better the more you practice, And people that do that are the ones that are going to succeed. Those are the ones that are walking across stage at Summit, getting recognized on rank advancements and celebrating, successes in their business. Those are the ones that are going to Success Club trips, going to leadership events. And if it's not that, they're the ones that are creating financial stability and viability in their lives. So that is why your attitude is so important to the successes that you're going to have in this business. One bad day, that's fine. I get it. We all have bad days. But when you let that downward spiral of a bad attitude and start pointing the finger and the blame and the, assuming the worst and all that stuff, you let that get in the way, you're not going to have success in this business. You're not going to be able to get over that hurdle to find that sweet spot, to find that unique, ness, that unique, I don't know, that unique homegrown plan that we're talking about. It's yours. You're not going to be able to get there if you have this tainted attitude about the business and about this team and about your challengers and your customers. So I encourage you, especially these next 4 months, to think about these things, to fix them when they come up, nip them in the butt, talk to somebody, personal development, listen to something, but stay the course. Don't give up. Stay consistent. Stay consistent and be curious. Assume the best. Give more and give back. Celebrate the small wins and adjust your attitude when you need to. So that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. I'm going to leave you with a video because this video is amazing. It takes 5 minutes, so I'm going to share it with you guys. And I want to leave you with this high of I can accomplish anything that I put my mind to as long as I have a good attitude, right? You can. So let's keep that in mind while you're listening to this, and I'm going to share my screen with you guys and let you watch this video real fast. Oops. Okay.
Luster of polished bare metal. Mother's nose metal. We've been polishing the way to a mirror-like shine since 1973.
This is not the video.
Our exclusive patented metal polishing tools create the most effortless shine around. Together with our legendary metal polishes, they instantly buff away dulling oxidation, restoring brilliance, even in difficult to polish areas. Polish better, smarter, and faster with Mother's Powerball, Powerball Mini, and Power Cone.
This is not the right. This is not the right one. Oh, gosh. Okay, well, I'm going to go find it really fast. I'm so sorry. Okay. Oh, I feel so silly. Here it is. I don't know why it went to that one, but whatever. Here we go. Let's try again. This is the video I want to leave you guys with. Is it not coming up?
Pod's moving in storage.
I need to clean out my study.
We'll deliver a container.
My brother-in-law's moving in.
Maybe he'll help you pack.
He's lazy.
We can refer.
Here we go.
There is nothing as powerful as a changed mind. You can change your hair, your clothing, your address, your spouse, your residence. But if you don't change your mind, the same experience will perpetuate itself over and over again, because everything outwardly changed, but nothing inwardly changed.
If you want something out of life, if you want to change yourself, if you want to acquire something, if there's some goal that you want to reach, changing your behaviors, overcoming negative habits, it's challenging. It's hard. Most people go through life never discovering what their talents are. Most people never develop their talents.
The only thing that's going to make you happy, my friend, and this year or any other, is to step up. It's to raise the standard. It's to discover what you're capable of and feel that incredible power pushing through whatever's holding you back and get to the other side of more of your true self. That's what this game's all about.
When you step into your fears and continue to push yourself to go on, something happens for you.
If you look at somebody who's really successful, you think, wow, I mean, they're so amazing. They're such a genius. You got to dig underneath and you got to remember something. People are rewarded in public for what they've practiced for years in private. If you don't develop the courage to do that which has been given you to do, and you spend a lot of time going around trying to convince other people or trying to get their approval, what will happen is that you will lose your nerve. And other people will convince you that what you're doing doesn't have any value, and you'll give up on your dream. How much time do you have left? How much time do you have left? When you start thinking about that, we don't know. Most of us don't use the stuff that we have brought into the universe. Stop wasting valuable time. If you want something, you have got to be relentless. You've got to learn how to become resourceful. You've got to learn how to become creative. The power to hold on in spite of everything, the power to endure. This is the winner's quality. The hunger, the ability to face defeat again and again without giving up. This is a winner's quality. What this power is, I cannot say. All I know is that it exists, and it becomes available only when a man or a woman is in that state of mind in which he or she knows exactly what he or she wants and is fully determined not to quit until they find it. There's greatness in you, and you've got to learn how to tune out the critics outside and the critic inside. I'm going to harness my will, and I'm not going to let anything stop me. I deserve this. Most people give up on themselves easily. You know, the human spirit is powerful. There's nothing as powerful. It's hard to kill the human spirit. You are unstoppable. Live your life with passion, with some drive. Most of us go through life with our brakes on, holding back. Decide that you're going to push yourself. You've got to focus on you. And as you convince you, as you sell yourself every day, you will begin to see a difference in the things that you're doing. Selling yourself on your ability to perform a job, to achieve a certain objective. Telling yourself every day, here I go again. And I got what it takes. This is my day, and nothing out here is going to stop me.
Wow, right? That was amazing. If you don't feel pumped up after listening to that and seeing the correlation of how your attitude, your actions, they create that success for you. So making sure that it's in the most positive light, it is speaking what is unique to you. And yeah, go out and crush it. It's the end of the month. It's September 29th. We have today and tomorrow left to hit goals, to crush goals, to talk to more people, to help more people. So let's go out and do that. And then take what you learned. If you had any takeaways from this call at all, I hope you did. But take those and push them into October. Take them with you through these next, couple of months that are going to be tough. They're going to be hard. And I'm telling you that so that you can prepare, so that you have a plan. You have that homegrown plan to put into action now so that it's going to keep you from falling into those trenches, falling into those lulls where the business gets tough, where it gets hard. Prep now. You won't see that at all, I promise. So thanks for listening. I hope you have a great week, and reach out and find me if you need me. Talk to you guys soon.